It's not a big deal, Skip. I just want one time. I just want one time the owner to come out and say, you know what, he's stuck in training camp. And the money that I'm paying him, he ain't worth it. It's kind of like doctor, the surgery, Skip, you hear this all the time, the surgery was a success. I just want one time the doctor to come out and say, you know what, we did a surgery on him. It's scheduled for 2 to 3 months rehab, but I really messed this one up.
I botched it.
You got to do it. What's he supposed to say, Skip?
I got it.
I get it. Last year, he came in with the ankle early in the camp, Skip, the first day before they even got to padded practice. He tweaked the lat muscle, some type of muscle that's very common in baseball players, but not in football players. And so it kind of set him back a little bit. But damn, Stephen, it's that when you come out with the every single year, it seems like you have to one up something that you said from the previous year. But just let him go play. Yep. He looks good. I mean, from what I've been reading, they had a pretty good day yesterday going against the Chargers in a team setting. Guys making some plays. Yep. But we'll see how it plays out. We understand that you're lacking some depth. They're down Noah Brown. Obviously, Amari's gone. Cedric Wilson's gone. Tolbert and CeeDee Lamb has been unbelievable in camp. When he's been able to be there, he got a cut on his foot. They don't know how he got it. He's like doing clown stuff. And so, but Skip, come on, Stephen. Last year, Dak went 6-0 in the division, scored 40 points a game. He went 5-6 outside the division, scoring 26 points. Now, 26 points is a lot. I don't want people to sneeze at somebody scoring 26 points. It's not a lot, but it's the 5-6 record. So, Skip, look, we understand Dak is going to need to have his best season in order for the Cowboys to be successful, because I don't believe they can run the ball as well as they once could, and they don't have the receiving core or the receiving core depth they once had. Yep. Michael Gallup's probably going to start the season on the pup. I have no idea what I'm going to get from Noah Brown, because he's never been asked to do what he's going to be asked to do this year. I don't know what I'm going to get for a rookie. I'm not pinning my hopes on the rookie. Yeah, you'd like to think, could he possibly be Jamar Chase? Could he be a Justin Jefferson, where they put together back-to-back years and they have the most receiving yards for rookie? I ain't pinning my hopes on that. I don't think you're pinning your hopes on that. CD is the one shining light that you could possibly have, but when they take him away, then what? Can Schultz do what he did last year? Can he give me another season of like what he gave me last year, Skip? Dak is going to have to be at his all-time best. Yep. In order for this Cowboys team to be and do what you believe they can be and what they can do. It's going to be incumbent on Dak, because I don't believe the running game with Zeke I don't believe Zeke is what he once was. Could he give you a game here or there? But it's the consistency in which Zeke used to be able to give you game in and game out, down in and down out. So, look, I've seen Dak. This is going into his 7th season. I expect Dak to be what he's been his previous 6, which is a roller coaster.
So, Shannon Sharpe, king of the Cowboy haters, I unfortunately cannot disagree with any point you just made. But I will tell you this.
What?
Here I go again. It's like father, like son. Hype master, huckster, P.T. Barnum Jr. Now we got P.T. Jr. Stephen Jones doing to me what they always do to me about this time of year. They build me way up so that I can go way down and fall flat on my face at the end of the year. It happens again and again
every year.
Again. They overhype, they oversell, and I fall right into the trap. But I will say this. I don't doubt Dak has had his best camp.
With those receivers? You mean to tell me he didn't have when CD first got there as a rookie, and you had Amari?
Okay, but just on what Stephen was saying, and Stephen has a good football head on him. I think a little better than Jerry's, actually. I trust Stephen's football point of view better than I trust his father's. But he's saying about Dak, the velocity, the accuracy, the whole show he's talking about. He says, obviously, as quarterbacks get older, they get better. The good ones do. Okay, now we're back to your point. The good ones do. Is he a good one? Or is he a pretty good one? Or is he maybe a potentially great one? Or is he just an average one?
Right.
The good ones do get better over time. You know they do.
They do, Skip. But what we see after about year 2 or 3, we don't see the roller coaster that we saw. We didn't see that with Peyton. We didn't see that with Tom. We didn't see that with the even if you look at Big Ben. Once Big Ben took over and he got past, he was Rodgers. All these guys, Mahomes really never had no roller coaster. I guess you can say he had a down year, 37, 13, and 4,800 yards was a down year. But Skip, you understand that. But what you've seen from Dak for his first 6 years.
Okay, I got it. Worse, to your point. Now I'm getting to the crux of my issue. He has crumbled down the stretch of his last 2 full seasons.
Yes.
Because it was shortened, and the middle season got shortened by the career-threatening ankle injury.
Right, 2019,
yes.
he got hurt. And then
but 2020
got hurt. He got 2020 got hurt.
I'm talking about 2019 and 21.
When he created that and lost to the Eagles.
We had nosedives at the end of the year both times.
Yes.
Both times.
Yes.
And it was, to me, Kyler-esque.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, right here, right now, as we approach another great NFL season, the 2 quarterbacks on the hottest seats to me are Dak Prescott in Dallas and Kyler Murray in Arizona, because they both got paid. Obviously, Dak a year ago.
Right.
But Kyler just got paid. And what do they have in common? Both of them have fallen on their face mask down the stretch 2 straight years. And the irony of what I'm saying is Kyler actually played 1 good game down the stretch last year, and guess where it was? Dallas. Where he always lights it up when he goes home to Dallas, to Jerry World.
Right.
He lit them up. That was the best game he played in his last, 6 or 8 games.
Right.
And once again, Dak didn't play very well. And you know the litany of damage that he did to this team, starting with your Denver Broncos at Kansas City when he had the ball 12 times
Raiders
and scored 4 field goals, and the Raiders. Arizona, he wasn't very good, and we get all the way to the conclusion, which was San Francisco. He wasn't very good against the 49ers.
True.
He was flat in the first half, and it was too little too late with the rally, and then he held the ball too long on the very last play, even though the official couldn't get it set. But it was just typical. It was the typical fitting end to a Dak season.
Right.
So my point to you is both Kyler and Dak have lost some weapons. Obviously, D-Hop's going to be gone for 6 games. So Amari's going to be gone for 17 games in Dallas. And Cedric Wilson's going to be gone for 17 games in Dallas.
And you don't know when you're getting Michael Gallup back.
I don't know, 4, 6 games. I don't know when. I have no idea. So all of a sudden, it's starting to feel a little more like CD or bust. You do have Dalton Schultz, who's been franchise tagged, and I believe Tony Pollard will play a new role, because I think you're going to have to use him in the slot some.
Right.
I watched him a lot at Memphis, and he was more of a receiver than a running back.
Right.
He's got electricity to him, as you've seen on the returns.
Yeah.
So you got to get him in space with the ball in his hands.
Right.
So you got to use him as your new Ced Wilson, I believe.
So
okay. So
are you counting on Tolbert? You counting on
No, I'm not
Noah Brown?
Nope, 0 and 0. I just don't count it. Whatever they would give me would be gravy. Okay. So the pressure is being heaped more than ever on number 4.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I'm with you on Zeke. I hope this is like a contract year for him. It's a last hurrah. I hope he gives me one last.
The man has dropped 50 from his high to what he is now. I mean, he was at 108. Now he's down to 59.
That is correct. And it dropped all 6 years. It went down. We're talking about yards per game. And if it goes down to 47, then Dak's going to be flying solo.
Yeah.
Was he somewhat a product of Zeke in his first 2 or 3 years? Did he ride shotgun for Zeke? Did he get to go along for a ride?
But I think the thing is, Skip, is that when Zeke's not going and they're not running the football early, they get away from it. Now, when you fall behind by 10, 14 points, you have to throw. You neutralize your own running game because you got to get back into the ball game, and that's what we've seen, Skip, is that they fall woefully behind. And what does Dak have to do? End up throwing for 400-plus yards in order to get them back in the game. Well, Zeke is like, I only got 7 carries, and I got 5 of them in the first quarter.
Okay,
so
I got it.
You're going to have to. The game is going to have to be close in order for you to use your running game, because if you continuously fall behind like the Cowboys have done over the last 3 years, yes, Dak was unbelievable. You see he's thrown for the most 400-yard games, Skip, over the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Yep.
But he doesn't have a whole lot of wins to show for him.
Okay, now I'm going to go one level deeper with Stephen Jones. Shrewd operator, Stephen Jones. There may be
method
to the madness, a little hidden agenda here. He is also heaping more pressure on his quarterback because they paid him with gritted teeth.
Yeah.
For the longest, I don't think they were sold on him as their long-term answer at quarterback. And to your point, they waited and they waited and they finally just gave in and gave up and said, pay him. Whatever we got to pay him, whatever the going rate is, let's pay him. But Jerry admitted at the press conference.
Yeah.
He looked at him. He was sitting next to him. You got me. I overpaid you.
Right.
He said that publicly. I had to overpay you.
Yeah, you better be glad he did. Can you imagine if he had to do his contract right now? Would he go?
Okay.
You'd be sick for real.
But with all the upfront bonus money, Dak made $75 million last year. That's like absurd amount of money for what he has given me and us, Cowboy Nation.
And guess what? Before you know it, he's gonna be back at the table again. And then what you gonna say?
Okay, well maybe we'll say no.
No. Okay, but
okay.
What if he gets you to the championship game? Will you? If he gets you to the championship game, do you feel that the $75 million that he got left? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to go get me to the Super Bowl. You don't have to win it. Just get me there.
You become insufferable.
Well, I haven't been to a championship game since 1995.
Yeah,
Think about that. 95. That's like the Browns haven't won a playoff game since 94 when they broke through.
Think about it.
Yeah.
How you come out here when they win a game or they beat somebody good, how you act. Can you imagine if they were to win a Super Bowl while you're on in that seat?
This seat?
Yes.
It would lift
exactly.
the ceiling into heaven.
You talk about insufferable, beyond insufferable.
Yep.
Ernestine's like, look, I'm going to get me an Airbnb. I'm not staying here for at least a month.
Well, somebody sitting across from me would have to retire.
Yeah,
right? You'd have to go find something else to do because I would be flying solo every day.
There's no question in my mind, it would mean more. It would do more for you if the Cowboys won a Super Bowl as opposed to if Tom Brady won number 8. You'd be happy like, oh, he did it again. But if the Cowboys?
Oh, hey, I grew up on Roger Staubach. I did. I know what that felt like. It felt like I can't remember.
Right.
It was so long ago. So conclusion here is, this is a show me for Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
This is it. He lost his baby fat. He's in the best shape of his life. He says that.
Yeah,
Steven doesn't say that.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good.
And he's finally completely healthy.
Right.
And he did have the quote-unquote injury excuse down the stretch because the best throw he made last year was the walk-off throw at New England to CeeDee Lamb that beat the Patriots in overtime. And on that very play, he steps wrong and pulls his calf muscle. And according to him and them, he was never quite the same down the stretch. Are you giving him an injury excuse? I'm not,
nope.
but at least he had that. Zeke has the injury excuse of, I had a sprained PCL or what?
Right.
I don't know. I'm not buying that one either. But now it's time to show me because you have to show me with far less than you had a year ago. Okay?
But we've been talking about that, Skip. They're not a better team than the team that lost in the wild card round against the 49ers. They're not a better team.
They're a worse team.
Yes.
And for once, you can't be a product of the weapons around you. You can't go along for the ride and be a game-managing quarterback.
Yeah, you have to
be an initiator. You're going to have to lift up this whole offense. You're going to have to reconnect with a CD that I don't think you've had great rapport with. You're going to have to figure that out.
Yeah.
You're going to have to throw some more balls into tighter windows that hopefully get caught by the receivers you do have left. And you're not going to have the bludgeon running game that you used to have for those first 3 years of Zeke.
Right.
He was doing Ohio State stuff.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And that was the thing. The Cowboys could get the lead on you, Skip, and then they'd run the air out of the ball in the fourth quarter. So you didn't, they didn't worry about putting the ball in there because Tyron Smith and Zach Martin and the center Frederick were at their apex. They're at the peak of their powers.
Okay. Well, they're not anymore.
No.
They're on their last leg. Maybe not Zach, but Tyron Smith feels like he's on his last legs. And I have questions about Biotish at center, and I have questions about Tyler Smith, a rookie starting at left guard. Is he going to lead the league in holding penalties? And Steele out at right tackle is still an undrafted free agent. I don't care how you slice and dice it. It's just he's going to be what he was.
Right.
He's not Lyle Collins, and he's not Tyron Smith. So it's not what it was. That rookie year, that was some magic because he fell out of heaven into their laps from the fourth round, along with Zeke.
Right.
And Zeke has a magical year, as you said, averaged 108 yards rushing a game, led the league by far, and he could also catch it and run with it, as we saw at Pittsburgh when he had the long
80-yard screen pass. Yep.
And all of a sudden, all of that's gone.
Right.
The onus, the spotlight, the responsibility falls all on the shoulder pads now of the quarterback.
Yes.
Number 4.
He's going to have to be exceptional. He's going to have to be consistent.
And it's between him and Kyler who has the most pressure. but because he plays for America's team, he does.
Yes.
Right?
But Skip, if he has this team in contention with the lack of weapons that he has, he's going to be in the MVP discussion.
Well, he would. Well, I think he was for 6 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and again, they did lead the league in points and yards last year.
Yeah.
But they piled it up early, and then they hung on for dear life.
Yeah, pile up against that division, averaging 40.
Well, they
so
did.
if you average 40 over 6 games in that division, look at you. Look at you.
All right.
You're third of the way home.
All right. Their schedule is still pretty easy. The problem is so is Philadelphia's because they're playing the same sort of schedule.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Here we go. It's on.
But y'all starting the season with an L, so I'm good.
Well, I give you that one.
As soon as the quarterback, hopefully the quarterback can get back real soon. We need him to play.
Okay, we do need him to get back and play.
They're not beating with no Kyle Trask or no, I forget the other guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Blaine Gabbert.
Blame, Blake, yeah.
Or
No.
blame Gabbert.
Blame, yeah,
right?
exactly. No, you're not beating the Cowboys
Gentlemen,
with those
it
two
is
guys.
certainly how you finish. No doubt about that.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.